Hey YouTubers, Nightwing19 here. So this is going to be my episode 19 review for The Flash. Who is Harrison Wells? So as always, I'm going to start with the recap, give you my overall rating, and right into my top 5 moments. So starting with the recap, Barry and Eddie track a metahuman named Hannibal Bates who can shapeshift into anyone he touches, but he takes Eddie's shape and frames him for murder. Later, Hannibal knocks Barry unconscious and assumes his form, but Dr. Wells realizes the truth and prevents Hannibal from killing Caitlin and Iris. While transporting him to Central City Police, Hannibal uses his powers to escape. Caitlin develops a serum to suppress Hannibal's powers, allowing Barry to defeat him and clear Eddie's name. Meanwhile, Joe and Cisco decide to investigate the car accident scene in Starling City where Wells' wife Tess Morgan died, though Caitlin is unsure they are correct and believes that they are going to ruin Dr. Wells' reputation. With the help of Captain Quinton Lance, Cisco and Joe locate a buried corpse near the crash site. After a series of tests confirm the corpse is the real Harrison Wells, Barry, Caitlin, and Cisco locate the imposter's secret room at Star Labs. They find both the Reverse Flash costume and a newspaper article from the future concerning the Flash vanishing during a crisis. So, overall, I am giving this episode a 9. This was a really great episode. The team finds out that Harrison Wells isn't Harrison Wells. They figure out a lot of things. 1. That the real Dr. Wells is dead. 2. That the Harrison Wells they know is the Reverse Flash. They discover his lair and the costume up in display. And 3. The newspaper that Barry vanishes in the year 2024. It was really amazing how Thawne was unaware of the team's actions. I feel like he's aware that Barry and Caitlin and Cisco are investigating him because he's from the future, obviously. But he's being calm about it because whatever he plans hardly matters if they find out about it. I'm always talking about whether or not Eddie will become a villain. I do believe that he will. It's just really annoying how many times we get a really good teaser to that and it turns out to be something else. In episode 16, Eddie punches Barry because he keeps on pursuing for Iris. Later in that episode, Caitlin is able to cover it up with some fake after effect due to the lightning strike. In episode 18, Eddie starts losing Iris because of the secret he's keeping about working with the Flash. Then he reveals to Iris that he's working with the Flash in this episode. And then a trailer for the remaining episodes of this season shows Eddie shooting 2 cops. Cut to this episode, it's really Hannibal Bates, the shapeshifter, posing as Eddie. With all these teasers, I feel like the big takeaway will be really big that will make all of our theories look minuscule in comparison. In this episode, we see Eddie and Barry growing a strong bond. Something will happen that will have to break that bond and turn Eddie and Barry's friendship rotten. Whether that be Eobor Thawne's doing that starts the spark, or Barry ending up with Iris, something will happen that will turn Barry and Eddie into bitter enemies. So, now into Easter eggs. Barry in the beginning of this episode goes to Central City for pizza. Coast City is the hometown of the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. The city has been mentioned before on the show, and it's also been mentioned on Arrow as well. Ferris Airlines was also teased. It's been mentioned many times on both shows, but I don't think I've ever explained it. But Ferris Airlines is a teaser to Carol Ferris, Hal Jordan's girlfriend, and later becomes the villain Star Sapphire. Cisco builds Laurel a new sonic device and dubs it the Canary Cry. In the comics, Black Canary has the ability to generate sound waves by screaming, which is also called the Canary Cry. Since Laurel isn't a metahuman, they just made it into some tech and have it work like the Canary Cry in the comics. I know they have the particle accelerator that brought about many metahumans, but that's more of a story device for the Flash and not Arrow. Even if they share the same universe, they're going to keep that particle accelerator accident on the Flash. And besides, Laurel becoming the Black Canary is one plot, and giving her metahuman abilities is another plot that is too big for the season already, considering that she's dealing with her sister's death and trying to follow in her footsteps. Cisco stated that he's getting good with sound waves. That's just a clear reference to Vibe. If Cisco ever becomes Vibe, they'll give him tech rather than making him a metahuman, considering that they don't detail Cisco being affected by the particle accelerator. Hannibal Bates is featured in this episode. In the comics, he's Everyman. Caitlin came up with the name this week. The name Hannibal Bates is a combination of Hannibal Lecter and Norman Bates from the 1960s Psycho film. In the comics, he eats parts of people's bodies in order to shapeshift. However, on the show they made it easier and had Hannibal touch people instead of eating them to shapeshift. So, now to my top 5 moments, starting with number 5, Barry vs. Everyman. Everyman was a really cool villain because of the majority of the episode. Grant Gustin, Daniela Panabaker, Rick Cosnett, even Candice Patton played villainous versions of themselves. Candace Patton was really amazing. It was really great seeing her get some cool fight scenes. Number 4, Hannibal Bates as Barry kisses Caitlyn. Even though this wasn't really Barry, it was really funny seeing this happen. You could even see that Caitlyn enjoyed the kiss in the last second, so that probably means that she has feelings for Barry. Even after that, she acted really awkward around Barry. It'd be interesting if Caitlyn and Barry started dating. I don't see that happening considering that Barry has Iris and Caitlyn has Ronnie. They both have someone for each other, but you never know, something could happen that could make Barry and Caitlyn a couple. Remember, back in season 1 of Arrow, Oliver and Laurel were a couple, and then cut to season 3, Oliver has feelings for Felicity and vice versa. The only problem with that is that I really see Barry and Iris becoming a couple, and if that backfires, then we can have Barry and Caitlyn, so I'm satisfied with either way. I didn't have a problem with Oliver loving Felicity, but seeing it play out on screen looks too much like fan service, so it didn't really work out for me when it actually happened. Hopefully that doesn't happen with Barry and Caitlyn. Number 3, Team Flash finds the real Harrison Wells. Number 2, Team Flash uncovers the Reverse Flash hideout. And my number 1 moment, Cisco gives Laurel the Canary cry. I really love how Cisco makes the Canary cry, and in return he gets a picture with Laurel in the Black Canary suit. Very Cisco of him to do that. I just laughed when I saw the photo. It was just so ridiculous. So, here's my question for you guys. What did you think of this episode, and what do you predict is going to happen in the next couple of episodes? Just leave your thoughts down in the comments below and subscribe for my episode 20 review along with my reviews for the remainder of the season. Subscribe to my other channel, Jedi Knight 450, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr to stay updated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.